had enough, this is your way out. So we just came 4 k's from that way out to the highway 66 k's, or continue this way towards Point Culver and the dunes. So 60 k's, probably another 2 or 3 hours, allow 3 I'd say. From memory it's very rough and slow. Had a bit of a terrain change. We've got rid of most of the rocks. There's a bit of sand around. We're travelling along the side of a sand dune, and just up here, if I remember, there's still a few rocks. Spoke too soon, but we're about 50 k's from Toolinna Cove heading west, where we come up to the intersection of another track that comes into the area, in and out track, and we're going to obviously continue down to the point and then onwards from there. A few more rocks yet just to say goodbye, the goodbye rocks. Okay, we're at the intersection here, as the sign says, Toolinna Cove, back the way we came, 50 k's. Yeah, I'd agree with that. And 10 k's to Point Culver Beach, and of course the way out would be over my right shoulder. That's the track back if you want to take the other way out, which, if you watch my videos in the playlist on our YouTube channel called, I don't know what it's called, the Wild Southeast WA, something like that, which should include the videos from our trip last year that are related to that trip, or anything around here. And this trip now, I'll put all these videos in that playlist also, in the order that they come out, so that hopefully means there's some sort of organisation. So you'll either have, if you open up the playlist and start playing videos, you'll either be playing the newest to the oldest, or the oldest to the newest. I'm not sure how it works. I can change the settings on it, but I figure however it is probably the most obvious way for it to work. But you know what, let me know in the comments. If you go to that playlist, or any of my playlists, check them out and press play. Do you see the oldest video first, the newest video first, latest video, whatever? And does it go through the older ones after that? Anyways, that's it. Right, here he is, back out of it now. The main track goes on the right, that's why they've got some ribbons hanging on it. Running the spare on the right hand rear, after a bit of a dodgy rock sitting on the edge of the track got rammed with it quite hard, and absolutely ripped a massive hole the size of a 12 gauge shotgun. Like it blew a hole in the side right in the middle. You could probably put a whole bunch of plugs in there and plug it up, but put the spare on for now. Yeah, so far, what day is it today? Today's Monday, I think. So we went into low range on Saturday morning after we filled up. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday so far. This is most of the driving we'll be doing today once we get down onto the beach. 275 k's in low range, and probably 300 by the end of the day. Fuel gauge of the diesel is on 3/4. So 3/4 of 180. I can tell you it'll probably take about 50 litres to fill it up. So you get substantially worse fuel economy, travelling slowly and in sand and all this sort of thing. And of course the V6, one of the disadvantages on a trip like this, your fuel gauge would probably be down to half. Your 90 litre light would certainly be on, and I think you'd probably need to put in at least 90 litres, somewhere along those lines. And that's from comparisons from people coming on trips with us in the high country over a number of days, and just calculates that way that the V6 petrol, awesome engine as it is, bulletproof as it is or isn't, it just chews a lot more fuel doing this sort of thing, like it does when you're towing. Same thing. Instead of using a little bit more, it uses a lot more. And look, this is using, I'll say substantially more. I'll use that word. I mean, it's a bit unknown up and down hills over bumps with the fuel gauge exactly where it's at. Maybe it'd only take 40 litres, but I'm guessing 50. So look, it could be worse than 15 litres per 100 k's. You know, it's hard to tell, but we'll know at the end of the trip when we fill up in Esperance, and that'll be travelling along the coast all the way from Cocklebiddy, in and around, up and down the sand, low range, pretty much all the way, for the majority, for the most part. So this is probably going to be the worst fuel economy I've ever had in this vehicle, because I don't think I've done a low range run that long, and not like, for example, in the high country we'll do 600 k's over a weekend or a few days, long weekend, but then you come out and you drive home and you've still done 1,000 in the diesel you have. I mean, you know, in the V6 at 600 k's you're out of fuel, you've already poured in a jerry can or two, and you're starting to pucker up where you're going to get your next fuel. But in the diesel, you drive out, you've done 600 k's. In the high country, typically you've got 90 litres left, half your tank's in the 120. So a week later you fill up, and of course you're driven home on the highway, so you see 13 litres per 100 k's for the whole tank, and you go, oh yeah, not bad. But this will have a better indication of exactly what this sort of slow, low range off-roading on about 15 psi, 15 on the front, 16 on the rear when cold. I checked them last. No, when hot. Might be lower when cold. They were pretty warm actually, come to think of it. I'm trying to remember though what I think of it. Like I said, bit of momentum up the dunes, but always slow down before you go down. And have a look at this absolute cracker. Bit windy today actually. Now some full driving going down. Onto the rubber mats where you got to watch out for the Rio bar. You just got to really watch out. You know, these rubber things are good to help people get out of here.
How's your first gear speed?
Yeah, so the mats are really good. But in the middle there's Rio bars sticking up. If you drove on top of those, because I'm pretty sure these are going to be big long pegs to hold those mats in place, if you drove over one, there's a good chance it might go straight through your tyre, depending what sort of tyre, how much tread you got there, and what your luck's like. So I would recommend going super slow up or down these, and I just see one right there, and I've got to go over it. It's like there's three, and when the heads are broken off them, if people have not gone nice and slow, and because they're like a T-piece on top, a big long Rio bar going down with a handle on top. 2 ways to go. Looks like everyone's going this way. You can see in the camera it's going to look pretty small. You probably missed it. The biggest dunes you're going to see on my channel for a long time. That'll be in the next video, so subscribe, turn the bell on, bada bing, and that'll be tomorrow. Straight ahead those dunes. Next video. In the meantime, if you want to have a look, go check out the playlist from last year. Have a look at them. Bill Bunya dunes. I'm going to drive straight past those down the beach is the plan. 50 k's on the beach. Just up the top here there was a bit of it's like a camping area type thing, couple of signs and some trees and shade and stuff. Just had a lunch break there, even though it's a late lunch. 2:39 p.m. Perth time before we drop down the hill and see how windy the beach is. It's feeling pretty windy, and I'd say that's pretty normal. Have a look at that. Beautiful, mate. White sand, nice water. Have a look at these beaches. Beautiful. Unbelievable. Love a good beach. A bit cloudy today, and it even still looks good. So imagine how good it is on a cracker day. Got 24 degrees, not too bad for a heat wave. that's where we came from, and that's where we went. But the tide's up a little bit and the sand was getting a bit soft, taking us a bit sideways, so we thought we'd make a turn around and park it ready for a getaway, because the wind's blowing, there's a bit of swell running, and the beach down there on the wet area is quite soft and not where you want to be. So bada bing bada boom, that's from there to there, Point Culver, that one there. Get some photos and catch you on the Facebook group. New video tomorrow. See ya.